Hello, everybody. L here with another shape for you today. My co-caster is T-Self,
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
and we are going to be watching the Secret Lizard Overlords minor champion in the second round of Challengers Cup, the first minors team ever to make it past round one of the competition they get to go to, up against Extreme's Quiguanas. And so, without any further ado, let's take a look at the teams. We'll start with the Secret Overlord. 1750 with 150K in the bank. They're really doing well. They've been able to avoid too many significant losses. And really, the biggest gap in the team is that one shitbag Saurus that still hasn't managed to get his first level after replacing somebody who died. And
Okay.
he's been a rookie for like 5 games now. He keeps getting himself KO'd like early in the game, and then just like laying on the sidelines the rest of the game.
Yeah, not having block makes you a big target for all the other teams.
Absolutely, it does. And since all the rest of them are pretty well developed, that's a problem. Another thing that may be tough for him against another lizard team, especially this particular team, we'll see in a minute, is he's only got one tackle, but it is tackle mighty blow.
Yeah, unfortunately, it has the problem of being able to be tied down since it's a Saurus without break tackle.
Yes,
But
I'm sure he'll get that next level, and he's only 1 point from level
also,
5.
only 2 guard on the team is pretty low. I mean, it hasn't played too many games, so you can't
Yeah,
really
I
expect
mean
them to
it's
have
a
too much more.
pretty fresh team, and I do like his strength 5 Saurus. That guy has done him a lot of work, and it'll be great once he actually gets skills.
Yeah, and he's pretty close to leveling. Actually, a couple of these Sauruses are 1 and 2 points away, so
Yeah, all he needs to do
potentially
is
leveling this
just hurt
game.
some people.
Down in the Skinks, we've got a couple of all stars as well as just a couple rookies.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
that's pretty much what you want. Like, if you have a skink that's not super amazing, you probably just fire it and replace it because they're so good out of the gate.
Yes, actually, I think when he entered the Challengers Cup, he had two skinks that were just um, two normals, sidestep, diving, tackle, and they both got sacked and replaced by rookies. That's where that came from. I'm pretty sure about that. He's really good at sacking the ones that don't get anything
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, 2 movement 9 guys. One of them has sprint. It's going to be really nice for one turning. Only need one push, so
Yeah, and Agi 4 is just abusive on a stunty.
yeah, and it can get to put the diving tackle on an opposing skink if he needs to.
Absolutely. And now let's take a look at the Quiguanas. Dreams Team 1860, which means that Spoopy will be getting a little bit of inducements, and if he really wanted to splurge, he could go for a wizard.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like 120 between them,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, definitely has the cash in the bank to be able to get the wizard if he wanted one.
Now, if Quiguanas wanted to even things up, they could go ahead and fire Tep Tep, this skink that's got a movement bust and two normals. That would bring them down to a 10 TV difference between the two of them, since there's a bench on the Quiguanas
Yeah.
side. That's something
And
I'd
there's a
seriously
bench.
consider.
There's also a one-man bench on the other side
Yes, yeah, but I
of
don't
the
think that
game.
he's going to worry about
Yeah.
trimming.
The biggest thing though that stands out about this team is, oh my god, is that 4 dodge
It
Sauruses?
is, it is, and two tackle. One of them's tackle break tackle, which is terrifying. He's got a frenzy juggernaut, which is interesting. The team that Secret Lizard Overlords played last round actually had 4 frenzy Sauruses on it, and that didn't really go well for them in a Saurus versus Saurus fight. Frenzy's actually a deficiency. It might be good against Strength 3, but
Yeah.
it did not serve him well in that game.
But only having one means he can at least like work
Chooses.
around it. And he does
Yeah.
have a slight guard advantage, I think.
Yes, he's
Yeah,
got
just by
3.
one.
Yeah.
The Croxagore has been the talked about piece in the last round, and pretty crazy pick of diving tackle, though we did see it do a bit of work against elves. It
I
could be
just
good against skinks. I mean, it's
I
just
I don't know how you roll doubles on a Croxagore and not like immediately pick
make it a
block.
Bloxagore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning, New Girl Plus Auburn Wings. Nice to see you folks here. We should have a fun game. They do, don't they? I really like it. The themes on both teams are really fun. And I do like a
Yeah, I mean,
Croxagore named
there's like
Thanos.
I don't know about that last skink. That's clearly a purchased mercenary or something. A
Yeah, he's
loner.
got 2 of 6. He must have bought him because he managed to get a Kaz on a skink, and he was like, "I have to hire you now."
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if the skink kills someone, like you have to hire it, right?
You can't say no. He's showing his initiative and his desire to be on the team by doing that.
He might have actually bought that in the last game too.
Yeah, right. And
Alex Chum
another.
saying it's a
Oh,
famous skink from lore, so
oh, okay,
that's cool.
that is cool. And we have yeah, I think that's about it. I don't really have much else to say about these teams. They both look pretty cool. Feel bad about the block dodge movement busted Saurus. That's always painful to see such good skills on somebody who's slightly weakened that way. But Sauruses can handle a move bust if it's not widespread.
Yeah, I mean, like they're already so fast for a strength 4 player.
They
You can
are.
handle one of them having a move bust, especially since two of the other ones are really mobile with dodge, break, tackle.
Yes, I totally agree. Hey, I'm gonna hop into Cabal TV. We're gonna take a look for when this game goes live. I have it on good authority that they are starting on time as of 3 hours ago. Don't see them up yet, but there's still time for that
Yeah, and
to pop
Extrem
up.
is in chat at the beginning, so I'm sure
Yes,
he'll be popping out soon to go start.
I'm sure he'll let us know when things move to inducements too before he disappears on us. Good luck to you. Don't be too mean to poor Spoopy. He's had to play against lizards 4 times in a row now. So while he might be a little practiced at it at this point, I'm sure he's tired of it.
I think we're all tired of lizard games at this point in the
Oh
playoffs.
man,
They're
and
doing so well.
I hate the lizard mirrors, not for any reason about the teams. I love their skills and everything. It's just such a pain to cast because like the only place that their color is like on their loincloth, and it's all
Oh
just a
yeah.
sea of blue, and it's just like I gotta look for the circles, and with all the skills, sometimes it's hard to
And
tell.
the way the skills work out too, like Source just end up having a big block of icons above their heads.
Yes. All right. Extreme thank you for that. We'll see you at the end of the game. Good luck and awesome. Peace
Okay,
out.
wizard.
Good luck.
Yep. So
I
he did purchase the wizard with the
I
bit of cash.
expected that. It was only 40K of his own cash, and he had 150. Even if he loses, he should be able to fill his bank back up pretty easily. This is T Self from Rel, uh, switching over to Skaven for this new season.
Yeah.
He was playing Pro Elves, right?
Pearls, yep, in Division 1 for the last couple seasons.
Awesome. So that's exciting. When you play Greenhorn, where do you go into? Div 4?
Whatever it's the 5th tier.
Oh, okay. Div 5. Gotcha.
All of the 5 A's through however many we need.
Gotcha. So we won't end up facing each other because I'm pretty sure that
No,
the
all the
minors
fresh
go in at
teams can only play
4.
each other for the
Yeah.
one season. So
So you count as fresh even with the three
yeah, they just
Greenhorn
try to
teams.
keep the greenhorn teams together and the people who didn't get greenhorn together.
That makes sense. That helps
So
keep
like
things a little.
A through D, I think, end up being just greenhorn divs, and E through the rest end up being new teams that don't have any development.
That makes a lot of sense.
It always changes as to which which tier it is, but
Right, right. Actually, I think that with the new pyramid structure, they're keeping all the fresh team ones
yeah,
5, even
it's
if
gonna
there's a
be
gap.
5 now
Yeah.
forever. But
I like that. I like the new pyramid structure. Little. Oh, the game is live. Let's go ahead and pop
sweet.
in. I like the new
Yeah,
pyramid
last
structure. There's a little bit of kinks to work out in terms of like where the tickets get distributed, but overall, I think the idea is pretty good to keep people stratified by performance. Hey, True Blue, Duvasak, welcome to both of you. What were you saying? Sorry.
oh yeah, so what I was saying is back when I started Greenhorn the first time, I ended up in the Div 5 as well. But that's when we only had 5.
Gotcha.
Four numbered divs before us.
All right, so looks like we are starting in Spoopy's stadium. He has receiving first, which makes me think he may have lost the toss, but you never know.
Yeah, I can never tell really, but
And
usually I like to be on offense. But
and he has a squig sandwich kiosk, which means no throw a rock, no get the ref. I always prefer the security gate to the squig sandwich kiosk personally. I think that, I've always said that throw a rock is emotional damage and pitch invasion is match damage. But
I mean, throw rock can definitely win games sometimes.
it
It
can,
depends,
but
like, if you're a team that has that one player that you really need, whereas this lizard team, they're all kind of replaceable.
exactly.
There's
And
no
also
real
the
one
other thing
player.
is, even if you have like one key player, it's still 1 in 12 if it's on your team that it hits that guy. So it's not really such a high chance, but
I mean, it's happened in the past that
oh yeah,
people have lost games from it,
absolutely. If you have the
even on
fame
just a
against
KO.
you, and in
Mm.
this case, he does have the fame against him. Extreme has +1, which means that the odds of a bad pitch invasion go up, actually pretty noticeably.
Oh, pitch invasions are terrible when you don't have the fame.
Yeah, and that's often why I recommend Security Gate over the Squig Sandwich Kiosk. They're just scary. Um,
As
I
long as
do.
you don't take what's it called, Weather Dome, because that's sickly blue tint.
Oh, I like how the Weather Dome looks. Everybody knocks on it, but I like it. It's fine. So, yep, there's that wizard on Spoopy's side, and he likes to set up with the Strength 5 Saurus in one wing and the Croxagore over on the other side, so we'll see if he does that again, just to keep the strength kind of evenly distributed across his field. They're both on the same side right now, which makes me think he might decide that he's going to push that side, try to keep his strength centralized. But we'll see. He's not done with his line yet. It looks like that's where he's going with it. So
The hardest thing is he's gonna have to like hit down this line through Blodge.
he is. And his tackle's on the other side from the left-hand side where his strength is. So we'll see how he's going to do that.
Yeah, I think he's focusing the tackle mighty blow onto the really good Saurus,
Yeah,
Rose Tyler,
and that's
which
not a
if
bad
people
thing.
have been around Rebel will know Rose Tyler from Miraskadu's old teams.
Ah, that's an
A
that's an
market
acquisition there.
purchase. Yeah.
Level 6. Very good skills for a Saurus. Only 60 points away from Legend.
Yeah, it's still a ways to go. I don't think he'll reach it in any time soon.
Yeah, who knows? He
It's
might
pretty hard
die
to get
this
Saurus
game.
levels.
Or she. It's hard to tell. Sauruses have
It's a
internal
she.
lizards have internal organs. So
Just gonna assume that because it's named after Rose Tyler from Doctor Who, it's a she.
yeah. How? We have a kickoff. Brilliant coaching, an extra reroll for the Quiguanas. That's not really very nice to Spoopy. He doesn't really deserve that, but with the fame against him and 2 coach assistants versus 1 coach assistant.
Yeah, both
They
teams
would have tied
rocking
without the fame actually.
coach assistants is pretty good.
Yeah, one on the one. Spoopy doesn't have any cheerleaders and 1 coach assistant, and the Quiguanas have 1 cheerleader and 2 coach assistants. So keeping that meta of having 1 more than your opponent. And the first block is a both down with the tackle, and that's got to burn because he really wanted to hurt that level 6 Saurus.
Yeah, and now he's just got hits without tackle.
Yeah. And another both down. That's really painful. He is going to be swearing about that one, I suspect. He does have 1 more 2-die block.
Ooh,
Gets a
gets the
POW there.
pow. Blodge is a lie.
Lodge is a lie. I was saying that a lot my last game. And he knocks him down, and no damage. And it
Yeah.
wouldn't have been damage with Mighty Blow either, with just a 6 on armor, so
Ooh, couple knockdowns.
another knockdown on Blodge, and Hiss Edison, maybe he can get that 1 SPP he needs. He does not.
I think he's 1 short of being able to 3-dice the Saurus.
He would need 9. He's got 5, 6, 7, 8. You are correct. Alright, and we see Strength 5 Blitz. He gets another POW.
That is just
Nailing
like
that
always
Frenzy
the best thing
guy.
about having a strength up player. Like just being able to blitz without assists is so beautiful.
It is glorious.
Means you
My
don't have to risk a skink up there.
my team that I just submitted to Rel has a brand new strength 4 Witch Elf.
Ooh.
She's block, sidestep, diving tackle plus strength. So I suspect she's going to be really annoying and a good tool if she doesn't get herself murdered. Yeah, Sovereign Wings. No cheerleaders is sad. I wish that that was one that was graphically represented. Like your cheerleading squad could like get more decked out if you bought more cheerleaders. I also wish that there was more variety in the cheerleaders. Blood Bowl 1 had a whole bunch of different racial cheerleaders. We only have orcs,
3? Yeah, we have
dwarfs, and
yeah, orcs,
humans.
dwarves. Yeah.
And
I think we only had one for the longest time, and then they made 2 extras, but
yeah. And they're all kind of like meh. Like the orcs are funny with their little ball and chain nipple tassels and their squig pom poms. And the dwarf ones are just like a bunch of dwarfs. I don't know how you tell female dwarfs apart from male dwarfs. All right, the pickup is good. Ball is really
a
deep, so I don't think he's gonna have to worry about an attack on it this turn.
bit of a scary pickup because it was in the end zone, but
Yeah. That 1 and 9, and then a 3 and 8 to go out if you fail is always just a little bit of a clench. But he got it on the first try, so
I mean, the worst part is not the 1 and 9. The worst part is just having to use your reroll in the
yeah,
playoffs.
that's right. With the kick that deep, like if it was in the 24-yard line, you wouldn't re-roll it because
Correct. Yeah.
it's safe back there. You're
Ooh,
like,
Croxagore 1 and 9s, and it's gonna get knocked down.
oh man.
Don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't loner reroll that. And that was on
There's no
Mighty Blow,
reason
but he's
to.
okay. Alright, so that line of scrimmage really did not go Spoopy's way. No damage and failing 2 blocks on the Mighty Blow break tackle guy before finally succeeding one. That's a lot of pain for Spoopy, so he's not gonna be happy with how that first turn went, other than the pickup, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's not in a bad spot though. Like, he's
No.
still pretty solid across the line, and the other lizard team doesn't have many hits this turn. So
Yeah. I mean, the thing about this mirror, they're pretty even in number of skills. They're pretty even in TV. He does have that wizard going for him, but it's going to be all about incremental advantage. So anything that you can do that's just a little bit better than statistical average is going to help you. And anything that you do that's just a little bit worse can add up if it happens more than one turn in a row. We see that Croxuar coming around the back to put himself on Lizard Nardo da Vinci III. He has a history of trauma and death. So we'll see if that diving tackle can take out another Lizard Nardo da Vinci.
then again, I mean, this Croxagore doesn't have block, so I mean, even though we'll be getting 3 dies, it has to find a POW to drop the skink, and I think just leaving the skink isolated on it isn't the worst trade for. It is only a rookie. Break tackle coming in. Dodging some guard in.
Good plan. I like it. Taking heavy advantage of his guard advantage there. And we see more both downs on blodges. That's just not going to cut it. That is not going to do the job. And now he's just got his blitz.
No real target for it.
No, I mean we might see Mr. Vile go around the back and try to hit Tom Hiss Edison again from that diagonal, but if he does that, he's leaving, he's gonna concentrate his Sauruses heavily in the middle
If he
there.
wants to roll GFIs, he could blitz with the tackle onto Queen Elizabeth. A little unfortunate that he placed TikTok where he did, because he had a path through on a dodge with break tackle.
Yes.
That would have saved a GFI, but
And he also theoretically could have used his skinks to try to get a hit on the strength 5. He's gonna
looks like
take the
we are gonna
GFI.
go for this blitz. Yeah.
Oh, and he fails it. That's gotta burn. There goes that extra reroll that the crowd handed him. Or brilliant
And he
coaching.
gets a skink down, so
Tackle is a good skill. Oh, and she is stunned, but she's still on the pitch, so
I think more importantly, though, is that there's a lot of pressure now back towards this ball, and
Yes.
not really a good way to move forwards or keep it safe.
Well, I mean, I could see him handing off to Chameleon Trotsky with Agi 4. That's pretty safe handoff. And with just a couple of blocks, he may be able to open up a path through the center.
Yeah, if you can get some of these dodge players down.
Depending
But
on how...
definitely a very fast pace from the Quiguanas here,
Yeah, this
looking
is
to
heavy pressure.
force something early in the match rather than waiting.
Yeah, wrapping those 3 players around, Tep Tep, Mr. Vile, and Thanos, and then having TikTok parallel a line of scrimmage. That's very heavy backfield pressure right away. Taking advantage of the ball being so deep, I think, that Spoopy has
Yeah,
to roll some
because it
dice to get it moved
is
forward.
forcing at least a catch here
Yeah,
if you want to move the ball safe.
and of course, Agi4 to do that, but 136. Oh man, Saurus both down on a skink, takes him down. Finally, block doing a thing instead of just preventing a turnover. And that makes sense. He couldn't get a hit on those Sauruses there, really. So, man, just a push there. And blocking diagonally like that makes me think he's not going to go for the play on Oxyodal to go through the middle there. Not really sure where he intends to take the ball at this point, but we'll find out. Hopefully for his sake, he noticed the diving tackle on the Croxagore and he's not planning on dodging Lizardnardo out to be a cage corner. And another push. Still not really getting the knockdowns he wants on those Sauruses, but he does free up Genghis Slan. We may see that blitz on Oxyodal after all.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get knockdowns on these guys, so I think you have to build your game plan around never knocking down this line,
Yeah, that
which
makes
is
sense.
unfortunate.
All right, we see the Croxagore come around the back, tagging up TikTok. That's going to make his life pretty difficult.
Yeah, he could be going for the dash up the left-hand side of the pitch with that skink.
I don't hate that. If he goes up the left-hand side, it's possible that he could get Tepflea and Oxyodal on him. And that's really it. All right, we see him come up. We're probably going to see the handoff here. Yep, there it is. Good catch.
And needing his Agi 4 there, rolling a 2 on the catch.
Yes, good thing that he had it there. Now, I think we might want to see Genghis Slan come around the left-hand side. He could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hit Renekton from behind. And that would also put him in the way of Tepflea, so he would at least have to roll some stunty dodges to get by. And really give him the best chance of protecting that ball that he's going to have in this situation. And then he's got the Strength 5, who can go ahead and interpose himself as well.
I think still has his blitz left, so
Yes, yeah, that's what I was saying. He might wrap around and blitz Renekton from behind. That lets him blitz with tackle on the Blodgesaurus there.
yeah.
All in all, I think that he's in a decent position. It's a little bit vulnerable, but it could be significantly worse. And he may, at the end of this turn, try dodging away from that Croxagore, because if he forces a diving tackle from him, then he'll be on the ground, and you know what happens when Bonehead goes on the ground. They stare at the clouds, and they get distracted, and they forget that they're playing a game. All right, no blitz from the Mighty Blow tackle. Instead, we see him protecting the ball. That's going to make it really hard to 3-die him with a skink. I hope we see a blitz from Strength 5. We do. I don't really know if I like putting the blitz on that Frenzy Juggernaut guy. He already had him pretty much locked out with the Croxagore. But he gets him down, so can't argue with his results. And that ball is now very safe, I think.
Not really. Rose Tyler has a single GFI blitz onto the ball.
Good point.
That is the problem when you're facing up against break tackle players.
Oh, and he fails it without even needing diving tackle. That's just a tensile tail success. Lizardnardo okay after hitting the dirt.
And this could very easily be a 1-die. Let's see. It requires a couple things to work out if you want to 1-dice. I mean, if you want to 3-dice the skink. Get that extra assist in.
Yeah, that might be a little tough to arrange.
I think you would need to knock down Thomas Edison
Yeah,
to be able to get the skink around tap tap. But the skink is slow anyways, so
that's not going to help. Push on stand firm, which is something that the Quiguanas don't have any of. 2 pushes on stand firm.
stand firm is one of my favorite skills.
Yeah, absolutely. After a block guard stand firm on a Saurus is just disgusting. And then if you can put it on a Blodger, then it's just like, ha ha, you better
Yep.
have tackle. Just as frustrating as Blodge sidestep, which I'm sure you know as a former
Yeah.
pro elf player, how annoying Blodge step can be.
Especially since you get it after just 6 SPP.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get it after 16 on my Dark Elf Blitzers, and I think that it's really annoying to my opponents, so I can only imagine after 6. And they don't all go sidestep. Some of them take tackle, but... Alright, we do see the skink pulling into the backfield.
We are gonna
Hoping...
break tackle.
Yeah.
Didn't even need it.
Yep.
Just 5+.
And we get the POW. That is not going to feel good.
And it's with Mighty Blow, so this is definitely scary.
Yeah, Chameleon Trotsky may be in for a bad day here. Where do you sidestep to? Do you go to the sideline and hope that it doesn't go wrong? No, you don't. All right. And injury.
And it went wrong.
that is not good. Just badly hurt. That's a hard choice there. He's an important skink for the match, but it's only the second turn. Do you use your Apo now? Spoopy is deliberating. No, Chameleon Trotsky is out.
Does not make Gerbear roll over in his grave.
Well, that is an interesting situation to be in now. Ball can't be reached by either side without a dodge.
And I think the hardest part here is just there's like no skinks anywhere near it for Spoopy.
Yeah, actually, most of Spoopy's skinks are in a pretty bad situation. 2 of them are on tackle, one of them's on the
tied
ground.
up on the Troxagore.
Yeah,
The
everything.
other one on tackle.
Everything for Spoopy in this situation is bad. His 3 of his Sauruses are kind of trapped in the middle there, very cleverly pinned in by Mr. Vile and the
a very
other 2.
good job of Tep Tep to put more diving tackle on another skink.
Oh, and we have a failed stunty dodge to get on that ball. Tackle doing a thing. Does he try to? He
No.
doesn't try to. And now the ball is even harder to get to for Spoopy, because his skinks are going to run out of movement trying to get there, and so many dodges.
No, they're not moving. Like, they're all on really bad situations here. His best dodge away is a 5+. No, 6+. Yeah.
Well, no. He's got Queen Elizabeth can 3+ stunty dodge out, but it is off of tackle. Oh no, you're right. It's diving tackle there.
Got diving tackle.
Tackle
Yeah,
diving
5+.
tackle is not a good situation.
The only skink that doesn't have tackle diving tackle on it requires a 6+ to get out, because prehensile tail and diving tackle stack so well.
Yes.
Surprisingly, this this diving tackle Croxagore is actually doing a lot of work in this game.
Yeah. Well, I think Extreme has a good idea of how to use him, and he's been really doing that well, avoiding the Sauruses and getting on the skinks.
This is the game to have it work, because skinks are just very good at dodging normally and very bad against that player.
All right, and we get just a straight up POW, both down. Lots of choices to make there, and he takes the POW, shoving him off the ball with Mighty Blow. We're Mighty Blowing a skink back. We get him, and he's KO'd. Not an injury in return, but I'm sure that Spoopy will take the KO for now.
Yeah. Any skink off the field is good for Lizards.
And he does have the opportunity to perhaps clear one of these Sauruses in the middle if the blocks go well, which they haven't, but you never know. And if
now, the crazy thing I'd like to think about is it worth trying to blitz the Rose Tyler with your strength and then like try to pick the ball up on the strength 5 Saurus?
I don't think I'd try to pick it
don't re-roll
up.
it. but
I think that, I mean, if you do
like if you
that,
leave it for the end of the turn, it's probably worth trying.
yeah, so free up one of these three central Sauruses by powering the other two. And then if
Yeah.
that works, put that Saurus on the ball, and then try the Blitz pickup with Rose Tyler. I wouldn't hate that. We don't really start off with what we need, but we can still get Nicoboa Tesla around the back and get him on the ball now.
And stand firm on the ball would be a very, very big win.
I like that, yeah. So I would like to see Black-Bearded Lizard block diagonal here, because no matter if that's just a push or better, Nicoboa Tesla can then come around and just get right on the ball.
Oh, it's better.
Yes, it's a POW. That's brilliant. Keep those two Sauruses tied up. I like that, although they do have the guard advantage, which means they will be able to hit back. No, they won't, because the one that doesn't have guards on the ground. That's a good situation. So I'd like to see Nick Boatesla probably to the right of the ball from Spoopy's view.
Mm-hmm.
He could bracket it, but that's not as helpful with a potential scatter, I think. And it doesn't put him as in the way. So I'd like to see him move him back, take this hit with the Croxagore, and then try the Blitz pickup with Eric the Red-Bellied.
There's one problem with hitting with the Croxagore first, and that's
That
that if you,
if you fail.
yeah, if you 1 in 9 again, then Strength 5 gets surfed.
That is a very good point.
But
That does require the assistance of a skink, but there is one available. It also means if you go for that ball pickup last, all right, I don't like that. I think he went a little bit too far left on that, but wherever he wants to go on the ball is really good. He is going for a blitz, but not on who you expected. He's going to try to
okay, so
free his
he's
skinks by taking this tackle out.
trying to get the tackle off the Skinks, but doesn't do it.
Does not work.
It's really hard. You have to get a POW, because from that angle, you're always going to still be on those two Skinks.
Yeah. And there's not really a better angle for him to have taken, because he'd be out of movement if he was going to try most of the
I
other
guess
angles.
his thing is he really wants one of these Skinks to get to the ball, but
Yeah.
it's just so hard off tackle, diving tackle.
Yeah. Having to roll a 6 and not getting your free reroll with the skink that's standing up is awful.
Oh, the Skink rolls a 5.
Well, but
He
that
goes
will
with the one
force
that
the
needs a
Croxagore to go
6.
down. He does. And the skink is stunned. Lizard Nardo Da Vinci proving why he's still a rookie. But Croxagore is now looking at the clouds. Maybe he'll be entranced by their ethereal beauty. No, he's not. He just gets
No,
right
it's
back
going
into
right
the
back.
fight. He knows what he's
Right back.
doing. He's practiced at this job. You like that, Doof? You like that diving tackle,
Whoa.
Croxagore?
I don't like hitting the sidestepper.
I
mean, I
don't.
know that it's got a good chance to hurt it because it's 3 dice, but
But this could happen.
this happens. Yeah.
And it does.
Now there's no way to tie up both the Skinks without giving a Saurus block onto Tep Tep.
Yes. And I'm sure that is a thing that Spoopy's happy about. It also presents the opportunity to blitz the tackle completely off of
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Newton.
Yeah, with only a push.
Mm-hmm. The thing's looking a little bit better for Spoopy at this point, I think. We still have the potential for some kind of wacky steal from the postman in the back there, if he really wants to risk that 5+ pickup and then a dodge off of tackle. That's something you might do at the end.
Yeah.
Just give it a shot
I
and
mean, I
see
think
what happens.
we're always going to have some type of 5+ involved on this turn, so
Yeah.
whether it's dodging Saurus with the dodge skill or... The strength advantage near the ball is still solidly in favor of Swoopy.
It is. There is that one guard, but that's not really good enough because all he's got is a skink and a Saurus that's tied up by a Croxagore, so none of that really works well for Extreme on that side. And he doesn't really have any more good moves. So his choices go for the 5+ pickup with a diving tackle, stand up a skink that's touching a tackle Saurus with Mighty Blow, or try to dodge out this dodge guard guy in the center. Those are his three choices at this point. He can
Yeah,
also
I
throw
mean, I
red
think like
dice, but
standing Tepfley up and trying to blitz with Renekton might be okay, but it's still a 55% play.
yeah, exactly.
This is just like what happens in these mirrors. It's just like Sauruses get tied up on Sauruses and they can't really do anything.
And then whoever can get a skink over there to help out first is the one who wins that fight. But is it worth putting a skink in that?
Yeah, I think I guess the safest play is to just drop the postman on Nick Boa Tesla and hit it with Rose Tyler, but the
Mm-hmm.
stand firm is just such a well placed position there because Rose Tyler's not going to be able to get onto the ball then
Yeah.
without blitzing. So I guess if Rose Tyler is going to hit, he should blitz.
But he gets a 1-9, and then he gets him down. But it wasn't a blitz,
Yeah, it
just
wasn't
a
a blitz. He's
punch.
not going to be able to stand on the ball, which is unfortunate.
Stand firm
Can
is
go for the
infinite skill.
4+ pickup now with a dodge.
Yes.
It is on tackle though, so
And
not.
and so it's a 3+ without a reroll, and then a 3+ without with just a team reroll, and then
And then a 4+, yeah,
yeah. So
not good.
that's awkward. I think he'll
Has a
probably.
1D over on the right hand side.
Ooh, he goes for the 5+ dodge, and fails, and is stunned for his trouble.
Yeah, that's a big failure.
That's big for Spoopy. Yeah, he has a very good opportunity now to go ahead and get out of this situation he's
This is the part where Mr. Vile, if he was in the play, would have been great. The problem is
in.
he's the one that's babysitting skinks right now, so
Exactly.
he's not really helping over there. And his
No.
break tackle would have been really useful.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can blitz Mr. Vile, and then make no GFIs yet. Oh man, my game just crashed. Cyanide, why do you do this to me?
I've crashed 4 times already. Don't worry.
So we get a radio play from T-Self here until I get my game back
Yeah, nothing's happened yet.
running.
Still deciding what the best way to free up these skinks are. I bet.
Spoopy is very good at taking his time in the beginning to look at his options, and then once he decides on a plan, he's usually pretty good at implementing. I think that's important, not playing too fast, especially since you have, long turns in the playoffs. It's
So we're
good
gonna
to.
choose to go for damage and spend our blitz near the ball onto the postman.
I like that. Taking that diving tackle skink out is going to help when it's time to pick that ball up.
Yeah, mighty blow tackle, not doing a break, but does get the skink down onto the ground.
That's good. Slow him down a little bit and make him make a hard dodge to get away.
Two
Well, no.
Sauruses on the ball and has now just freed up a third Saurus to walk over to it. So definite advantage in favor of the Secret Lizard Overlords.
Good.
We're gonna have three Sauruses and potentially a fourth just standing right next to the ball versus one Saurus for the other team.
Of course, he doesn't want to concentrate his power too much there. Gotta
And
keep
then
his.
also like movement skink, Queen Elizabeth has also kind of been freed up because it's only got tackle on it, and
Yep.
only tackle is a lot easier to get off than diving tackle.
Yeah, and this ball is now basically in a cage.
And I believe it's actually with the plus movement, no extra dice to get to the ball other than the dodge.
Yep, just a dodge. You are in fact correct. I am now back in the game. Wonderful. And that ball is now totally caged up. I think we are going to see him go for the dodge with Queen Elizabeth. And then if she is successful in nabbing that ball, it will be quite safe.
And it's definitely worth a reroll if he.
Hey, doesn't need the reroll on either.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, if he did fail the dodge, I think it still would have been worth the reroll, just because you don't want your skinks taking
Yeah.
armor breaks
So
on the floor.
do we try to dodge Isaac Newton out of this diving tackle situation he's in, or just leave him there to get punched?
I think him getting punched there is actually like a win
Yeah,
for you,
he's got
just
sidestep. He can
because
get in the way and force dodges
then
to
the
get.
tackle's not getting anywhere near the ball.
He goes for the punch with the Croxagore on block. He gets it,
Yeah,
knocks him
safer this
down,
turn than the previous turn, so I agree with not taking it before and taking it now.
and he doesn't follow. That's an interesting choice. I think he was a little concerned about being hit in return if he followed this time, because
Yeah,
some
I
of
think
the
he's got a
skinks could
good
get there as assistance.
he's got a good screening position at the moment.
He does, especially with stand firm.
If he walked up, then there could have been a way in for Rose Tyler dodging around the back.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
so not following there was a very good choice.
I agree. Now, I bet that Spoopy's happy that Axelander the Great, Mr. No Skill Saurus, is actually doing something useful with his life, keeping a
We
much
do
better
try to
Saurus.
get off.
Yeah, we do, and we.
Please don't reroll. Like
Yeah,
you can't reroll this.
no, you don't want to reroll that. You might force the diving tackle out of a skink, but that's not worth it.
No.
All right. Well, that was not a terrible turn for Spoopy. He is in a much better place than he was before. He can move a pretty secure cage down the field now and stall for at least a turn or two before needing to score, I think. The
Oh,
way
I
that.
don't think he'll. Yeah, he won't need to score for a while. The way this game has gone so far, I guess the Croxagore can get involved now, but I think that will be the play. Try to get the Croxagore onto the ball somehow.
Mm-hmm. Very, very good move by Spoopy putting that strength 5 in the bottom right-hand corner there, because that allows him to, fend off the Croxagore, the biggest threat. Like, he can't, even if he gets Tom Hiss Edison down somehow, which I guess would take his blitz anyway. Maybe blitz Tom Hiss Edison and then put the Croxagore on the strength 5.
Guard is also in a great spot on the on Rose Tyler.
Yes. All right, so the Croxagore has no problem moving to try to get in front of that cage, so he'll be able to threaten it next turn wherever it heads to. That's going to be satisfying for him. Always good when your Crocs follows your commands.
So if he one dies the Mighty Blow Tacklesaurus, he can get a 2-dice blitz onto the ball with down skink. I think that's his best shot.
And I think where he put his skink, Postman, that is the plan that he's going to go with. Not a terrible plan. You're hoping for basically a 3, a 4, or a 6. No, 3 plus, because he's not on dodge. Yeah, that's not a terrible shot. I mean, I would take a 3 plus dodge to get 2 dice on the ball as elves, so a 3 plus block is very similar.
Not to mention, if you get a push anyways, it just...
And he does it, and he gets a skull, and he re-rolls it, and he gets the POW. And
Ooh,
it's a
and a
KO.
KO.
That is huge. Taking that Mighty Blow tackle off the field for the rest of the drive is going to hurt Spoopy with all those dodge Sauruses roaming around. 2 die on the ball, and
Do
he
you
could take
both
this
down?
both.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
you
think you
do.
do. Yeah.
And that
Just
ball is in a
force
good
another pickup.
place there, I think. Not too hard to... Now, this is an interesting conundrum for Spoopy because if he tries to just take the hit with Nick Boatesla with an assist on the... He's going to push him onto the ball and maybe scatter it into a much worse position. So he may have to use his blitz, even though he's based on this guy, just so he doesn't push him towards the ball. And it's going to take one of his... it's going to take... I mean, the only one who's really in good position for that is Black-Bearded Lizard, and he's probably the best option as a ball defense moving forward. So
Yeah.
you really are going to only have Nick Boatesla defending the ball with the skink, holding it once you get it clear, and that's only if you get a POW on Rose Tyler because no tackle.
So I feel like over on the right-hand side of the pitch, we've all forgotten, and maybe the coaches have kind of forgotten about Killer Croc and Axelander the Great.
I mean, I've been watching them. Axelander the Great is correct in not throwing any blocks there.
Yes.
And I think
I
not
feel like
putting
Killer
any...
Croc should be trying to do something because trading 3 skills for no skills is a bad idea.
I agree with you. I think having a skink off the pitch has kind of forced... Ooh, he goes for the scatter, banking on one of the good scatters, and a Saurus catches it. It's now on a Strength 5
that's a scatter.
Saurus. That is one hell of a scatter, I gotta say.
That's a bingo square.
That helps quite a bit. Oh, is it? The Saurus catches on a scatter?
Well, I think it's actually 2 different bingo squares. There's a scatter catch on a 6+, and then there's a always scatter the ball. Like if you scatter the ball on your own turn and you catch it. So it's a multiple bingo square type of play.
I don't hate it. It was a little brave, but at this point, you need a little bit of bravery to get out of that problem. Unfortunately, what?
Unfortunately, the guard wasn't in a great spot, so you're going to have to bring the Croxagore in and kind of waste his movement this turn. If you do want to get hits onto people to clear this ball free. Still has the blitz available, so can theoretically hit down Mr. Vile and still blitz Rose Tyler off this ball.
Yep.
Unfortunately, no matter where you go, Thanos is always going to be a problem.
Kind of like in the Avengers.
And the only player you can really have to tie it down is Lizardnado Da Vinci.
And that's I mean, I guess that's his job as a rookie skink, to be annoying to the Croxagore and get his face punched in.
Yeah.
Auburn Wings, isn't it though? She says it's hard telling the teams apart. Absolutely. That's my biggest complaint about Lizard Mirrors. You gotta look at their shoulder pads and their loincloths because they're all...
The only thing you can look at is the circles.
that is not what he wanted with the double both downs on Mr. Vile. He re-rolls it, gets the POWs he needs, and that's gonna help quite a bit. Good re-roll investment there after seeing the results. I don't really know if going POW hunting with a re-roll was the best resource allocation, but results are what counts.
Well, I think he was okay with a push, is why he didn't mind it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And now we're blitzing the ball clear, and the push is all we need there. And he is away. Strength 5.
Try to go to like the left of your lizards, but then the Mighty Blow Frenzy is a thing.
Yeah, no, I think he's just gonna
Luckily,
go...
the Strength 5 is pretty good, and then he can try to green off with skinks here.
Yeah, I like where he put the ball. Movement Skink can very easily interpose himself to make it hard for the Croxagore to get into place, and in fact, that is what he does. Now we're going to see Queen of Lizardbeth move herself up forward more. Kind of an inverse of a normal cage. Usually you see Sauruses caging a skink, and now we're going to see skinks caging a Saurus. So that's an interesting...
And it's just such an amazing turn of play for Spoopy, because not only is the ball a lot safer on a strength 5 player than a strength 2 player, especially with block. But there's only 2 SPP to go for the strength Saurus to level. So this is a brilliant opportunity to get that extra level in before the next round.
It's amazing how an unexpected 6+ can suddenly turn things in a very good direction for you, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's still like you still have the problem here of it's very easy to get this Crocs onto the ball.
Yeah. I mean, he just has to
And
blitz one of those skinks.
if enough players can get back there to help the Crocs, like okay, never
Or
mind.
that could happen. That's significant. Proxigor decides
Never
he's
mind.
done enough.
Crocs decide to go to sleep whenever they're needed, so
Yep. it's the excitement, the conviction in the coach's voice when he orders him to make an important play. The Croxigor has to look at him and be like, "Ooh, you really care," and then he forgets to actually do it.
this is what you sign up for though when you play either Nurgle or Lizards, because you rely so heavily on having the big guy on the team.
I agree, especially in a match where you have very similar strength, where you don't dominate the opponent in strength.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a pretty easy sack on this ball. It's gonna be a 2 die into a 1 die, or no, 1 die
Two
into
die.
a
It's
half
gonna,
die.
yeah, 1 die into a red die because of the strength 5.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't call that easy.
You could make it better with skinks, but yeah, it's gonna be hard. The diving tackle sidestep can get around the top, I think. Yeah, one dodge, or one GFI, whichever you prefer. Oh wait, never mind, I miscounted.
Yeah, no, he's
He
now out
needed
of movement.
dodges. Yeah.
He had to cut those
Oh,
corners
of
if he
course I
wanted to get on
miscounted.
him. Well, what
I was
that does
thinking
is it
T.
makes it a 1 die into a 1 die if he can tag up the skinks.
Mhm. This is like the one of those times where, as a caster, you wish that Blood Bowl would give you the injuries.
Oh! Fails the go for
Oh,
it.
what?
And he gets the 1 die POW.
Yeah, definitely push towards the sideline so that you get the chance to
And the
scatter out.
skink doesn't catch, and it goes forward. Alright, well that is not ideal for Extreme here, because now it's fairly easy to just grab that thing and get into
Still
the
a
end zone.
diving tackle, so
Yeah, so you do still need to POW hunt, because, of course, sidestep. Sidestep diving tackle, that's why you do that on skinks when they get normals. Freaking annoying skill combination.
unfortunately, because Eric wasn't armor broken, the strength 5 Saurus can just stand up in 3 dice to try and find either a POW or both down. Plus strength coming in very handy.
I don't think so, Oven Wings. I'm not sure exactly where he
Ooh,
came up with that
finally
name.
Killer Croc frees himself.
But
But
it was just a
unfortunately,
block, so he can get tied up right
Axel
away
Engine the
again.
Great gonna be able to just walk back in and tie him up again. If he chooses to. Doesn't choose to.
Spoopy, taking advantage of the change in momentum by having his Taurus able to move first, thanks to that block, decides to reallocate that force towards the center, which I don't hate, because I mean, Killer Croc is just going to be able to make it to the center next turn, so they're still going to be basically in contention with each other. The real difficult choice here is what do you do about this diving tackle skink?
Well, you just blitz it on a 3 die. It's simple. Nope, gonna go with block. Does he think that's a surf?
I think
because
he
you just did a
does. Yeah, I
GFI.
don't think he saw the sidestep there. That was a mistake, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Wasting the reroll there hurts because he might want it for the pickup. But on the other hand, maybe the Saurus will catch it again.
maybe. Now the skink just gonna catch it.
Or we just go ahead and skip the reroll part. There we go. Lots of scatter catches going on here. So if you're Spoopy, do you score immediately, or do you send that skink off to the right hand side? Put
I'd
a
score.
skink on. You would score, yeah.
Yeah, you have the wizard. You have a reroll, and your opponent doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
and you still get 2 more turns on defense. So you could easily use the wizard to score yourself, or just use the wizard to stop them from scoring or something.
Yeah.
And it's not even the easy. Like 3 turns is okay for extreme, but like I guess like the problem with stalling is that Thanos is a problem no matter where you go.
Yeah, he could put a skink on him. He could yeah. He's just going. Yep, he's going
Okay,
far. There we go. He
he
went
went
for
for
the
score.
score. And as Arvin Wing says, Thanos is always a problem. We already made that joke.
Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to make half the skinks disappear yet.
That's because he doesn't know how to snap. The coach tried to teach him how to
Don't get it.
snap, but he gets confused.
Yeah. So strength advantage going to extreme now with the Saurus staying out.
Yes, and that skink coming back. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch my view around so we can be behind the offense. I know some people don't like that, but I do.
It's now the big thing in Rebel.
In Rebel, we like to have contentious issues that are completely irrelevant and silly. So this playoff season, it's been: do you switch views or not?
I know a lot of people have been starting to do it. Probably because I did it all season. So a lot of people got used to it. Considering I
I've
did
always done
cast
it that
80
way.
games.
I always think that it allows you to get a good view
Yeah.
of what the offense is looking at, and really, since the offense has the initiative, that's more important.
The funny part is like I like to cast with behind offense, but um when I'm like watching a replay or something, I'll always go behind the defense. I don't know why. I guess it's mostly because when I try to like analyze replays, I don't really mind offense that much. Like
So I've seen
being a pro
Spoopy,
elves.
I've seen Spoopy use this defensive setup before, and it's a little too aggressive for me because you're very vulnerable to a quick snap. You have
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
potential to give away 5 blocks without a blitz on a quick snap in this setup.
You also have potential for your Blodgesaurus to be surfed on a quick snap. Actually, even without a quick snap. But definitely on a quick snap, that Blodgesaurus can just get pushed right off the pitch. There's like no help for it. Now, if I was extreme, I'd be trying to push the right-hand side of the pitch because it's further away from the guard stand firm. And that's probably the only player I care about.
Completely agree. I completely agree with that.
Blodge isn't as much of a problem.
I don't see how you get the 4 squares to push that you need. Oh, I do. I see what you're talking about. You do need the quick snap to surf that guy. And you also need to put the frenzy on the side that the lodge is on.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't need the quick snap either, though, because you can just like frenzy him 2 squares back towards the sideline, diagonal hit, diagonal hit.
Yep.
But you need to set up for it.
Well, yeah, you hit him diagonal hit with the frenzy, but then
Oh no, because you take the frenzy, you hit him
I see what you're talking about.
sideways, and then
Yeah,
back towards the sideline,
there
and
you
then your
go.
diagonal hits from those 2 squares can push him out as long as you have someone standing on the floor.
Yeah.
It's always fun to go for those types of surfs, but turn 6 when you're trying to score a 3-turn is probably not the situation where you can afford to put that many people into it.
Quiguanas rewarded again for those assistant coaches, going with another extra reroll, which really helps. Not having any rerolls was very dangerous for them for this 3-turn, but having one, much different situation.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason I wanted to score as Spoopy was because of that no reroll. So him picking up a reroll is definitely helpful. Ooh, another KO'd Saurus. If both of these stay out, this could be a very difficult second half.
Yeah, that's pretty big, and it was of course on the stand firm guard, one of the most important pieces in this matchup for Boopies. Just a
Yeah.
push in the center here. Howling
Push is
Black-Bearded Lizard again.
push is good because it means the hit on the Croxagore isn't as good anymore.
Yep.
I still
Now,
think you make it, but
the one die. Yeah, I mean, you would one die with block against a blockless Croxagore. That is bad. 2 boneheads
Thanos
out of
does not want
Extreme
to.
and none out of Spoopy so far. Thanos really letting his team down.
Decided to take half the turns off. Now the one problem here is like you got to put this ball really far on the left-hand side because Thomas Edison can just waltz in past the Croxagore.
Yes, yeah.
Definitely going to be pushing heavy on this left side now, and with the removal, left-hand side is clearly where he's going for now.
And he does have to make some forward progress. That's a good place for it. We can 2-die it with a skink, but now we can't. Well, we can, but we have to make a lot
You
of
can.
stunty dodges.
Yeah. Do grab Croxagore. Will he stand firm? No. Opting to let this guard get further in. It's an interesting choice.
And that stun is going to be big.
Very big, very big. That Croxagore is basically out of this half with a stun. Go grab some water very quickly, so I'll be right back.
All right. Spoopy starting off with a blitz with Eric the Red bellied. 3 dice on a skink gets the POW. The postman is going down. And it's an armor break. No removal, but that's really all he needs to take him out for the rest of the play. Leaving the Quiguanas with relatively few options for moving that ball forward safely. The other skinks can now get in the way of that forward momentum of the Sauruses. Um,
Yeah.
Definitely leveraging his strength advantage with the Strength 5 Saurus, using that pretty heavily. It's going to be really hard to get a hit on him. You have to devote a lot of resources to it. And of course, the skinks can just stand behind him and prevent any progress even if it happens. The center is a little weak, but not super awful. And we do see that skink go for the double screen there.
I'd love to see at the end of the turn Abraham Skinken just running down into a scoring position.
Yeah, just in case, right? You might be able to get it
Just
off
give
with like a
yeah,
wizard or something.
just give the threat of the wizard a little bit more credibility.
Mm-hmm. Not only can I stop the drive, but I could go 2-0, is what he would be saying with that move.
Yeah.
And
Because
taking
your
it,
other movement skinks are really good at getting the ball forward. So
and then it asks an important question of Extreme. Do you see that as a credible threat and devote your Croxagore to trying to stop it, or do you ignore that threat and potentially pay a price for that?
oh, I would definitely put the Croxagore on this on any scoring threat if I could. Or maybe the diving tackle skink tap tap.
And I do like moving Isaac Newton so far back. He's now able to respond wherever the ball goes if it does try to go for the score, and potentially pick it up if it gets lightning bolted and get
Ooh,
that.
but the
Ooh,
tackle is gonna nab uh, Abraham
Abraham
Skinken.
Skinkin. Also, he wasn't dodging in the direction he would need to go to become a scoring threat.
No, he was heading backwards just to defend better.
That's okay, but it does free up that tackle Saurus now to move. So he's, Extreme has some resources here. He's got the Croxagore now in the middle, and that means that the sources are now serious trouble there.
He's gonna try and free up one of those sources, which he can do pretty easily.
Yeah, and that gives him 2 free sources. It gives him one from the center, and it gives him Killer Croc on the right-hand side, both of whom can involve themselves in wherever the ball is going to go.
He's definitely gonna push the center of the field, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Try to ignore this strength up lizard.
That makes sense. That's a really hard piece to bull your way through with the resources he had at hand there. Yep, that's a great blitz that takes out the most credible threat to a ball in the center, but the both down doesn't help. Does he use his free reroll? He does.
I think he had to because he kind of blocked his own skink's path
Yep, okay, I see
with
that.
all the downed players.
But he gets him down, and now he's in an intercept position. That's going to be...
And now I think all of these skinks are going to get up forwards far enough that the wizard is just not going to be useful.
Right, I think that Spoopy's main goal now is going to be to find some way to just stop this skink from making it across the line.
It's going to be hard, though, because this tackle is going to go over and screen off for him, as well as one of these other Sauruses.
Yeah. Skinks having a really hard time getting through. I mean, Lizardnardo da Vinci looking at a series of extremely difficult dodges with tackle most of the way.
I guess we just have to not forget about Abraham Skinken, because he's kind of in a good spot.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like hard to see because skink bodies are really tiny.
They are. He does have to make dodges now. And we did free up Renekton, who can now come around the back and make it even harder for Abraham Skinken to do anything. And that's basically where you want to put that guy. I think that's probably as safe as that ball is going to get. Oh, I don't know why we GFI'd with that skink, but it didn't work. Maybe to make him an additional scoring threat in case of the lightning bolt? No lightning bolt, though. Continuing this brawl in the center. Proctor Phil, proving that he is still a superior Croxagore to Thanos, not going boneheaded at all in any moments of importance. Looking at a potential 1-die with 2 GFIs from Abraham Skinkin, or, yeah, on the ball. And that might actually be worth taking. You can go around the right there where the Skink failed the GFI, which is probably why he was going for that spot. Not even standing there, that direction would be basically impossible to attack from. Spoopy weighing his options here on where he wants to go. Time to get the Skinks in the way. We actually could see a 2-die with 2 GFIs out of Abraham Skinkin. Because we could see Isaac Newton come down with no GFIs to get on the ball in the front on the corner there. And then we could see Abraham Skinkin come around the back and hit him. And when you're just looking for a POW or a both down, because you would take the both down in that situation, just to force another pickup with no reroll, that's not a terrible plan.
Yeah, I think I would do the blitz of Isaac Newton, but it's the same thing basically. Just use Abraham as the assist.
Yeah. That's
Either
one
way,
fewer.
it's the
That's
same.
one fewer GFI. Oh no, you're
Is
right.
it?
It's 2 GFIs.
I think it's the same. It's just spreading them.
Yeah. But he makes the first GFI, and he's taking your plan, not mine. So we're gonna see the blitz come in with Isaac Newton. Here he goes.
It's
Good luck,
effectively
little
the same
skink.
blitz.
He gets the
Take
both down.
to force. Yeah, I think you do, just to force the pickup.
Yeah, with no reroll. Absolutely. Do it.
I mean, it kind of sucks because you're a niggled skink.
Yeah. But he takes it. He gets him down.
Or the
Ball.
other one is the niggled one. So yeah, no, it's definitely a good play.
Not really going to be able to do anything about that ball because that's a fairly easy pickup.
I think that's the reason why I didn't like moving Queens and Elizabeth first, because you could have put Elizabeth, say, like basing Tepfley and make this a little harder for Extreme to recover from.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not like super difficult.
I guess we're just gonna 3 dice Queen Elizabeth tackle. Seems like a good idea.
Get a good path through, and then we're just gonna go for it with Tepfley. So 1 go for it and a pickup. Dead.
Well, now that is definitely a good result.
That is. Now, do we see the Appo come out? It's the end of the first half now. We don't.
No, you can't Appo a skink.
Can't Appo a skink. I mean, she was a movement up skink, but yeah. No reroll on the pickup, and no tripwire. And it is now 1-1. Spoopy suddenly in a much worse position than he was. He still has the wizard. A lot is going to depend on these KO rolls. Good work, Extreme, pushing your way through what was a spirited defense.
And if there's one mirror that easily goes 2-2 a lot, it's lizard mirrors because of skinks.
Yeah, those little fast little assholes. The queen is dead, long live the queen. That's right, New Girl Plus.
Only one of the 2 Saurus is coming back.
Oh, I didn't skip the animations, you cheater from the future. But 1 coming back is better than none coming back. Was it the tackle one?
I didn't actually see. No.
It was not. Spoopy probably
Tackle Mighty Blow.
Probably unhappy about Tackle Mighty
getting
Blow
his
sitting the
double
whole
yet.
freaking game out. Alright, Spoopy setting up a square further back now. I think both because there's more time, and he might have realized the danger that he had put himself in.
I mean, yeah, especially on in turn 9, I'd definitely commit to surfing any Saurus that was in a bad position. I mean, technically that Saurus is still surfable from there, but not easy.
Yeah. That's when you want to separate out possible and useful.
Oh, I mean, I'd still surf this guy. He's still surfable. Just because it'd be funny. Like, if I was playing CCL, I'd totally surf that guy.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because you could.
In a playoff game, it might not. It might be a harder choice.
Unless you're Andy Davo, then you'd do it.
Of course you do. But I mean, if you're Andy Davo, you get baited by serfs. All right, let's see how Extreme sets himself up for this one. It's an interesting setup with the two skinks super deep like that. Good way to respond to a deep kick. I'm always a fan of a more traditional, one receiver in the back and a sweeper somewhere in the middle who can also act as a relay. But maybe that's just the dark elf in me.
Yeah.
Not as easy to pull a handoff pass play with skinks. Especially without a plus agi skink to help you out.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a safer setup, Burn Wings. Auburn Wings.
Yeah, this is safer. If like T-Stuff was saying, it's possible to surf him off of this, but you gotta dedicate like 5 players to one wing to do it, and that's a pretty heavy player allocation for something that's not particular. Another extra reroll for Quiguanas, and
That
the
kick is
cheerleader.
actually super scary.
It is a terrifying kick. The cheerleader that Quiguanas own coming into play there. Secret Lizard Overlords rolling a 3, Quiguanas rolling a 2. It would have been a tie with just the fame, but that cheerleader makes the difference. I gotta say that the crowd has really been on the Quiguanas side for this game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the one saving grace is that at least it's only rerolls.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no pitch invasions or rocks or anything.
Yeah,
Not
well,
that the
no
rocks
rocks, but
work
the
here.
pitch invasion would definitely be crippling
Yeah.
if it happened. I mean, the odds of it going against Nick Boatesla off the field. That's
These
guards
sources
stand
have
firm
been
removed.
getting KO'd a lot.
They
And
have.
that's kind of been the difference in this game.
Maybe he needs to take Thick Skull. So, of course, if you're Extreme here, you try to pick up with a Saurus on the sideline like that.
Of course.
What are you talking about? That's crazy! Clearly planning to pick up with Tep Tep, which is awkward because then you're carrying on your movement busted skink. Just getting a push on the line of scrimmage here. Not really set up to take full advantage of those LOS blocks, but
Yeah.
he didn't really need to with the Saurus advantage that just got better for him. And Axelander, the shitbag, is dead. I don't know. Like, do you Appo this 50-50 that he
No.
stays off? No. Yeah.
It's a rookie.
This puts
You
you
don't
3
Apple a rookie.
Saurus down for the drive. That is a painful situation to be in.
Just nothing happens.
Yeah, you
if
get the kickoff event, and then there's a big red X over it, and it just doesn't happen. You don't get to re-roll it. Re-rolling the kickoff event would actually make it a lot less good to cancel the kickoff events, because it would make
Oh yeah.
it
Then
would
more
make
blitz
blitzes more likely. Because there's no way to cancel a blitz with a stadium, and so if you get to roll twice, the chance of what's blitz 11?
I think it's a 10.
Okay. going from 3 and 36 to
More.
yeah, statistics there are pretty difficult. All right, and we get a push on the Croxagore, who has stand firm. He probably isn't going anywhere, and he's not.
Now comes the hard part, though, which is picking this ball up.
Yeah, this is the part where you really grit your teeth, click, and then close your eyes if you're me, and then you just hope that you don't hear that whoop 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 sound.
I think holding the ball on tap tap is also the right play because of the wizard, because you don't
Yes.
want Terry getting bolted.
And he
Oh,
fails
there's the
it, and he re-rolls it, and he gets it.
gets it. Yeah.
Well, the scariest part of this drive now pretty much out of the way. And the ball's in a decently safe place, even from a wizard now.
I mean,
Not
I'd
100%
probably
safe.
I'd probably bolt it, run the skinks through, and
Try.
yeah, because you're just down so many sources that if this game goes longer, you're not gonna really have a chance.
I agree. And the skinks are the only pieces that can really move anymore on your side.
Yeah, and you've got 2 free ones in Abraham and Isaac.
Yep. But he is not going that way. He is going to fight this Croxagore.
I just think like, I don't know, there's like not enough players on the pitch to really get a good wizard later. We will see.
I don't think I agree with this blitz. I think we're going to see Eric the Red Bellied head over to the right, provide an assist on Chakax for Tom Hiss Edison.
Yeah, but it's a blodge.
I know.
Blodsaurus on a Blodsaurus, right? Like they're just gonna be standing there forever.
But at least maybe he'll get a push and then free up Eric next turn. And it makes Extrem make a little bit of a decision about if he wants to stay on the right or waste some movement switching to the left. But when he switches to the left, which is what I would do in this situation, it's going to be really hard to follow him over there, and the chance of stealing goes way down. I really don't like that. Facing your best skink on tackle. That seems... Although, I guess if we planned on hitting the tackle, then it's not as
Yeah, I was
bad.
giving an assist for it because that guy, but
Do you re-roll this? Spoopy is thinking that, because not getting a knockdown there is pretty unpleasant.
I can't re-roll fishing for pows. It's just
No.
not a winning line.
No. Now Proctor Phil, pretty threatened, because he is definitely going to get punched next turn. And 2 dice. Oh, and we get another both down, so Blodge is a good skill set. Punch that skink, because we can. I don't know if I do that, taking the chance to incapacitate the Croxagore in an effort to find a POW or a both down that also takes you down. Although it does put him on both skinks and means that hitting him is now imperative. And getting a good hit is important. But
Yeah, because pushes don't work.
50-50 on each die, though. It's pretty easy to hit him with a 2 die. And as we know, Thanos, not a particularly cooperative Croxagore, may sit this next turn out.
Unfortunately, like Thanos has a really good spot to move to if he does
Get up.
get down Blackbeard, because then he
Mhm.
can pop on over with no extra dice to just stand on both Abraham and Isaac, and then I mean, how do you win the game when your skinks are tied up by that Croxagore?
Yeah.
We saw that in the first half. Like it took a lot of effort to get them off him.
Yeah, and that is probably the best Croxagore to have against Skanks, really. We are switching to the left-hand side. Not a huge surprise. Why did you
Except that we're
GFI with the
GFIing
ball?
for
Why?
no reason?
That's totally unnecessary. You deserve to snake that. But he doesn't. Not punished, except now he's down to 2 rerolls, which means the advantage early that he got from that extra reroll now kind of mitigated by an unnecessary use of a reroll there. I mean, he had to do the reroll, but he didn't have to do the GFI that caused it, so.
Yeah, definitely did not have to GFI there.
In fact, it could be argued that the GFI is kind of put him in a more dangerous
Ooh.
position.
And that's a duck skull.
Oh,
Injury.
Mr. Vile is out. That's a great guy to take off the pitch. Get that tackle out of the way, cause a turnover. Do you wizard here?
And now is this the wizard turn? Because there's a skink over here that we didn't pick the Croxagore up at all.
Yeah. We have a really good. Oh, we have 2 skinks now that can reach where the ball is going to
Yeah,
be
I
after
definitely wizard this turn.
100%. Mr. Vile being out of the way means that
That
Isaac
greedy GFI cost him
quite a
that
bit.
dub
Yeah,
skull.
absolutely.
And a Saurus.
I really, really hope that Spoopy doesn't forget his wizard. He has in the past failed to remember that he has one. I hope that this is not the game that he repeats that. Really needs to be a wizard here, Spoopy. Don't disappoint me, Spoopy. Don't disappoint me.
Yes.
And there it is. I like it. No armor break, and it's next
Good
to the
scatter.
Saurus. Worst
Good scatter
possible.
from
Yeah, worst possible result there.
Luckily, he can still free up the strength Saurus,
1, 2,
but it's gonna be
3.
hard to get
Yeah.
a hit on this.
I mean,
Yeah, no,
you may
good
just go
screen.
for the 4+ pickup.
Maybe you have to go for the Croxagore hit.
Yeah. Yeah, if you get the
But again, you're
Croxagore
looking for
hit,
cows.
then yeah. Yes, Donkey Dragon. I feel secure at this point, guaranteeing that the Lizard team is gonna win this match.
Ooh, actually, okay. So listen to this one. So if we hit Chakax off with Thomas Edison, right? If we
Yep.
blitz with Eric with a 3 dice onto Terry, we chain the Croxagore onto the ball.
I like it. I like it a lot.
And then the Croxagore can hit one of those Sauruses down.
I like that. That's a very clever play. And Spoopy might see it.
Yes, Donkey Dragon, there are, in fact, quite a few permanent injuries.
There is a dead skink with movement plus and a dead rookie Saurus on Spoopy's side. And there is...
I think the rest are all badly hurt.
Yeah.
The other side is only badly hurt.
But,
so you're hoping for the Secret Lizard Overlords to win.
Hey, Iceblade.
In terms of permanent damage.
Yes. Yes, you are. All right, don't disappoint us here, Spoopy. You've done a really good turn so far. Go with this clever chain push.
Chain push play is on.
Let's do it. And also, I mean, removing Chakax completely is a big get. It means that...
I mean, he doesn't even need to chain there, because he could just chain the Croxagore for free with Blackbeard.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He just needs to... He does need an assist for that, but he does have
He's got the guard on the Croxagore, so...
Oh, you are so correct. All right, so I think that what we're doing is going to get in front of the ball here and also give Abraham Skinkin a decent path to get there, but unfortunately, it doesn't quite work the way that he would have wanted it to with no knockdown there.
Well, we can still go for the chain play to get the Crocs on.
Yeah, and definitely putting the Strength 5 right in there.
And if the Crocs is able to hit Killer Croc down, then there's a decent chance to get this ball with Abraham.
Yep.
Overtime is definitely realistic if Spoopy's able to steal the ball here and score early.
Or even if he doesn't manage to get his hands on it, this could
just,
still...
turns into a Quagmire, sure.
It's starting to look like one. We have basically everybody in one big long line chain of contact.
Yeah, and there are like 5 Sauruses between the two teams off the field. So.
Yeah. You might be Juvasac, but all of our viewers get to pick their favorites. And we're going for the ball. I like getting on it. I like that a lot, putting sidestep on the ball.
Whoever has the least living lizards.
All right, we are...
And a POW.
Nice.
Too.
Chain the Croxagore onto the ball. No! Don't Spoopy, what are you doing? Oh, he doesn't. All right, good.
Now, do you move to 1 contact? That's not bad. I guess you don't want to be on the guard. Or Thanos. Don't know if I like that hit by the Croxigar.
No, I would have
I don't
rather
think
he
it was
hit
worth it.
the Saurus.
I think he should have just not hit anyone and just stood there.
That's also a very good option. And that's something that you learn playing Nurgle a lot too, is when not to activate your big guy, because a stupid is worse than any positive result.
Yeah.
Well, the Croxagore gets up off the ground. Thanos, not totally useless.
And that Croxigar going boneheaded there would have been an incredibly bad result.
It would have been. I really think that that was the second time that Spoopy's made a block with the Croxagore on a skink that was really worse than any positive outcome could have been. Okay. Now the ball is heavily based by both sides. Super awkward to get
I
to.
think the favor is still in favor of Extrem because he has more actual lizards on the pitch. But
Yes. Just getting a push there is not helpful. Dodge is a thing. Frenzy, of course.
Surprised
Poor
he's
man's
pushing him
tackle.
back towards the ball. I would
Yeah.
have been pushing away. Yeah, skinks don't count. They're not actual lizards.
It's always a little burny when you throw 4 dice at someone with dodge and you don't get them down when you've got block. Because all he needed was a both down there on 4 dice or a POW. Ooh, that is not what he wanted. There goes down to 1 reroll now for Extrem.
Pretty sure you just eat that.
Yeah?
Yeah. You got people on the ball.
Oh, Tap
Tap
Tap is injured in
takes the
return.
niggle.
And no long-term effect, but that's not good.
Oh, was that a bug? Wait a minute, let me
What a
look
bug.
this up. I think that was a bug.
Why?
Because Tep Tep should have been getting a normal Kaz there, but I mean maybe he just rolled 1 and 1, but
What? What do you mean?
is he niggled? Oh, he's not niggled. Never mind. Okay. I thought that was the niggled skink. It's
Hmm.
Terry's the niggled skink. Okay. Sure. Hard to remember all the injuries.
I mean, that was a normal Kaz. That was just a badly hurt.
Yeah, that was a so there's a stunty actually has like there's 2 different types of Kaz for stunties. You have a normal Kaz, which is on a 10 or higher, and then you have a 9, which is a guaranteed 1-1 result. Badly
Right,
hurt.
badly hurt. And he got a 9,
Yeah.
so he got badly hurt.
Yeah, so he did. Yeah. But
So
if
it
that was a
worked right.
niggle, then it would have needed to roll properly.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's the other one that's niggled.
That was the movement bust one. So I guess of all the skinks to get injured off the pitch, that one is probably the least worst. But
I don't know, no, because it is your diving tackle sidestep, so it's probably one of the more useful skinks in this matchup.
so Spoopy now trying to figure out how the hell he's going to get his hands on this ball.
There's 3 really hard to move players.
I mean, he could put an assist on Thanos. Like, oh, right. Yes. I think that we are going to see Tom Hiss Edison come over to assist on Thanos. Eric the Red-Bellied is going to
Scatter
push Killer Croc
Yeah.
onto the ball and
Yeah.
and scatter it and hope that it, lands somewhere better than where it is right now. There's a lot of
Well,
good
I mean,
places it could go.
knowing this game, the Croxagore is going to catch it on a 6.
That would be hilarious. And then he's going to go bonehead when he tries to move with it.
Yeah.
I mean, either Croxagore catching it here would be a disaster for either team. And we get him down, and we get him on the ball. And the scatter is in a pretty
Perfect.
good direction for Spoopy now.
Diving tackle is still bad, but
Could be worse.
could be worse.
Could be
Diving
raining.
tackle is so hard to get off his skinks, though.
Yeah.
So I think the actual... oh, no, that's not good either.
Yeah.
The actual play might be to put Leonardo da Vinci around the back,
Yep, and then try to dodge Isaac Newton off the diving
and then pick
tackle.
the ball up with Abraham and hand it off to him, rather than having to dodge off diving tackle.
That's not terrible. I like that. Then you make a 4+ pickup into a 3+ handoff.
Rather than doing a 4+ into a 5+.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nothing is great, though, when you're talking about diving tackle on the ball.
Yeah. And there's a lot of dodges in there.
Yeah, there's a
Ooh,
lot of...
but taking that
There's
skink
the
down
niggle.
with an injury. Goodbye, Terry. And that's a real injury, too. But
Yeah,
it's still just badly
that's a
hurt.
double 6+1.
Does a 13 mean you're automatically to no? But that is 2 skinks out. That's
I've taken my share of 14s in my time.
yeah. The
I'm happy that 14 does not mean instant death. That would make niggles even worse if the extra +1s on top added to the Kaz roll instead.
Wouldn't it? Like if it wasn't like if it was like Mighty Blow, if you don't use the niggle to make the Kaz worse, then you get to use it on the Kaz roll. Oh, but that's a 1. That's not what we wanted. That's a 4. And we get out of diving tackle like a boss.
Lie.
All right. That is big right there. That is a successful wizard steal.
I think we just stand up the other skink.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason to dodge it. And then we can dodge around Leonardo because that's just a nice 3+ dodge off of Asaurus.
Yeah, and it keeps him from getting frenzied again. And then I would... Oh, but we do dodge. And since he succeeded that dodge...
Yeah, now this ball is relatively safe.
Yeah. So I wouldn't move the Crocs. I wouldn't block. I would just let him stand
Just
there.
Leave him where he is.
Yeah. He's in a great place where
The worst
he
thing to
is.
do would be to roll dice with him and let this break tackle Mighty Blow block Saurus get a 3 die on your ball.
Yes. And
now,
and
as it stands, we can still just like 1D this Croxagore down and do the same play.
yeah, but it does revolve rolling a 1 die on stand
You
firm.
could 2D him too, because like the tackle, I mean the diving tackle skink can just do a dodge.
That's true.
1 dodge.
Stunty is also a good skill when it's not getting you injured.
I think that is the play we need too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, you really got to get your ball back here as Extreme. It's your best chance of avoiding overtime. And down skinks, even though you're up Sauruses, it's still not really... I mean, you're not up Saurus. Yeah, you are. You're still up 1 Saurus, even if nobody comes back from KO.
Yeah, and the problem is that 2 Sauruses for Spoopy can come back.
We may see... Oh, no
it's
blitz.
only 1 out.
I expected that to be a blitz to get him off and on the ball, but we're just getting the Sauruses away from the ball here.
Yeah,
oh, and Blackbearded Lizard has a
I would
level
have liked going for the ball.
with the Kaz. That's pretty good. I didn't notice that. Well.
Because he has a 1D with the postman from the front.
Just pushing around Eric the Red-Bellied. And now we don't have to dodge to get on the Croxagore if we want to take that hit. And we don't. And we don't blitz either. We just put diving tackle on the ball.
Yeah. We're just going to blitz the Croxagore and then move Renekton.
Yeah, to sandwich in that skink.
Just going to hope that diving tackle is not going to be a lie more than once in a row.
Twice.
Yeah.
That's not what you want on a Croxagore that's got stand firm. That's what you want on the Croxagore that's got stand firm. Do you accept the push here? It would actually put him in a slightly better position for next turn.
I don't think it matters either way.
He did. No armor break, so that's good for Spoopy. But Kind of an
I guess it
awkward
means
position.
that no, accepting the push was right there because it means the Saurus can't come around and base up Isaac
Hmm.
dodging. So that was actually a good play.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It puts the Crocs in a much more inconvenient position for
Yeah.
Extreme. And now that blitz, not really awesome. He'll still get on the skink there, yeah, but nowhere else really to go. Now we just blitz the diving tackle skink, who does not have sidestep, off, and get the ball free and moving even further downfield. He could even potentially score on this turn if he's willing to make the two go for it if he gets that diving tackle out of the way.
Yeah, and he doesn't even need to blitz. Like he could just do a handoff as well if he didn't want to
If he
do a
didn't want to
one-die blitz or
score this
something.
turn. Well, with just one dodge, he could two-die blitz.
Yeah, it would be a dodge though.
Mm-hmm.
Same odds as just handing off. If you don't count like using your reroll or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd save your blitz for being able to blitz, say, like a skink with Thomas Edison or something.
You think Donkey Dragon? You think that he's gonna sidestep without sidestep? He's just gonna channel all of his mental power. All right, and here comes the blitz. That's an interesting place to
So
blitz.
he's gonna go for the handoff play with this blitz.
Brilliant on KO there. That's big. One skink left for Extreme, and now
Yeah.
suddenly he has to worry about potentially not having any skinks available at all for the rest of the half. And if it goes to overtime, that's bad too.
I think I did like that play because you're more likely to get a knockdown on a skink if you went with the 3 dice with a Saurus than if you 2 dice blitzing the skink off.
Especially with block.
And this gives you a much higher chance of being able to stall a few turns.
I agree with you. That was a good play. Good. Setting up a screen for when the ball gets free. Roxagor stands up like a boss.
Yeah,
Proctor
should have
Phil
done it at the
showing.
start of the turn, but you know,
Yeah.
now's not too late.
Proctor Phil showing why he's better than Thanos. And the handoff. And it's a success. Extreme in serious trouble now. As we saw, he can score in 3 turns. So it's by no means decided. But both teams suffered some heavy damage here, which makes scoring quickly difficult, even when it's, evenly distributed damage. If you're Spoopy here, do you go for these GFIs to score right now? Going 2-0 or 2-1, pretty strong. But waiting
I
might
don't
be
think you
better.
need to score. You
Yeah.
still have players around.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd do one GFI
Yeah, to keep him safe from
towards the
Tic
end
Tac.
zone so that you have a
TikTok.
handoff play rather than having to dodge off diving tackle on the next turn or something,
Also a very good point.
or a blitz play or something. But
Yeah. But he's
I
not
don't
going
think
to.
I don't mind not doing it just because I don't think it's really going to matter in the end. I think there's always going to be at least a blitz play to clear off the diving tackle
And
since
I
it's not
like
the
the
sidestep one.
I like the 1-die on the Croxagor. If that had been a successful knockdown, of which there were 3 on the die, that would have been very helpful, especially if it didn't get up again. Even just a push is okay. All right, so most of the Saurus is tied up, and everybody screened off, and only one skink. What do you do as Extreme here?
Your only play is to get diving tackle on the ball, and then
How do you do that?